Let's think about the two biggest space games we have in our lives. No Man's Sky and Star Citizen, right? And what do both of these games have in common besides being in space? They were both dog shit for the first 5 years of their release. And now they're trying to sell me Skyrim in space. Literally, that's what the founder called it himself. Made by Bethesda, by the way, who hasn't been able to release a successful product in over 10 years. So if you're blindly hyped for this game, you've been bamboozled, tricked, skanked. But guess what? You came to this video. You're in a safe place now. I will save you by showing you how Skyrim in space, also known as Starfield, is completely doomed. Let's get into it. Now, before I even get into the various reasons why Starfield is more doomed than your local GameStop, let me first lay out the primary reason that I'm worried. It seems the developers don't really know what the fans are looking for in this new IP. For example, just a small feature, Todd Howard confirmed that there will be no seamless ground to space flight. That basically means if you're on the planet's surface and you fly up into the air, there will be a loading cutscene before you're able to get to space, making the transition a lot less smooth. Okay, right? I mean, that's not the end of the world. It's not that catastrophic. That's one feature. It's Todd Howard's explanation for why it's not in the game that scares me. He said this feature is not important enough to the player to justify it being engineered into the game. He's basically saying that the development time for it isn't fucking worth it. And I don't believe that statement is true at all. I think it's pretty important for an open world exploration game with over 1,000 planets to have this seamless ground to space feature. But clearly he doesn't see it that way. And that makes me question, what else doesn't he see that way? What else does Starfield think isn't important when it really is? I want you to think about that as we go on through this video. Now, we all remember when No Man's Sky first came out, and it was a complete fucking lie. I still think it's funny to this day how they literally said, yeah, the game's gonna have multiplayer, and it just didn't. I mean, like, how do you get away with shit like that? But anyway, No Man's Sky advertised millions of planets to explore, endless possibilities on all of them. And on paper, that sounded really cool. The galaxy was fucking infinite. I mean, that's dope. But that fun lasted for about 29 seconds. People quickly realized that the planets, despite being named different things, were all just reshades of the same shit. Somehow, this game being so full of planets made it so empty. And that was a big problem people had with that game. So Starfield, it has 1,000 planets. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot better than 1,000,000, but that's still just too many to justify having. I just don't get why they won't focus on 120 planets. Really craft those planets, add specialties to all of them. That would make the game feel perfectly huge while also being purposeful. Listen, when most people buy this game, you are not going to explore more than 45 planets. The average player. Nevertheless, 200, 300. So why not make it 100 planets that when someone goes there, it's special and not some procedurally generated shit. Not only that, but the planet exploration is weak, man. No rovers. No rovers? In fact, no vehicles at all. There's no ground transportation at all in this game. You are going to be walking everywhere on foot. I guess the rumors are true. Bethesda doesn't know how to code fucking vehicles. Never in any of their games have they made you drive a car. So no ground transportation. There are rumors that on each specific planet, there are boundaries as to what you can explore. So it's not just an infinite planet surface that you can walk around on forever. There are limits to the directions that you can go. You add the fact to that there's no seamless ground to space transitions, the exploration is already going to be super fucking choppy. One of the main parts of the game is exploration. That's the main reason you're fucking buying this game. Yet they're even limiting that. So immediately, I'm not even done with the fucking video. There are red flags here everywhere. Now listen, this combat, it's actually embarrassing how they released this to the public. Now I'm picky, alright? I'm not gonna lie, I'm picky. You look at my channel for 5 seconds, alright? I'm fucking picky, alright? But I've been around for some time now. And this combat that they're showing me, it looks like a fucking Roblox summer intern's first coding project. Who are they fooling here? The guns have no recoil, barely any sway. The shooting has barely any impact on the target. It looks generic as hell. Who are they fooling? It looks so bad, man. And I'm looking at people in these YouTube comments of these trailers, hyping the game up, calling it, next game of the year, the next big Elder Scrolls type game. Ooh, what the fuck are you guys looking at? Don't get me wrong. I love when people find games that they think look cool and they can put tons of hours into. But how are you with a straight face gonna drop $70 on this? Look at this, bro. I don't even need to do any more explaining. We're moving on from the combat because it just makes me want to end the fucking video here. I'm 200% sure the game is going to be unoptimized. They confirmed as early as last week that the Xbox Series X is going going to be capped to 30 frames per second. Your next gen console that you paid $650 for can't run it. And we should all be worried about that because you know if it's locked to 30 on Xbox. I hope you guys bought a 4090 recently because there's no fucking way you're playing this game without it. Now let me just not be a complete degenerate, okay? Starfield has some quality features. At least that's what we think right now. Graphics are decent, and there seems to be a decent amount of story and side quest content. Also, it's a Bethesda game, so you can probably pick up and interact with everything in the world. And I'm sure that there's tons of secrets hidden in the game for people to discover. But let me ask you something. What is this game offering that No Man's Sky isn't? Because before this video, I actually tried to sit down and figure it out. I mean, when you put them next to each other, you actually realize No Man's Sky has way more to offer than Starfield. I mean, they recently revealed this outpost system, which is apparently a pretty big part of the late game, but it also looks like a straight copy and paste of Fallout 4's outpost system, which for me didn't hit the spot, and I barely used it due to the generic nature of how the NPCs acted and its lack of utility in the game. It doesn't look like this has too many extra additions to the system besides being able to mine resources passively. When I see Starfield, when I look at it, I'm not seeing Bethesda pushing the limits in any way. This game looks like a clash of No Man's Sky and Star Citizen, which could be a good thing, but the difference is those games are both multiplayer, so it doesn't have anything that stands out that differently from those games. So when I'm seeing gameplay, I'm just like, meh. I'd rather be Dragonborn fighting mythical creatures and shit than shooting robots in space with a laser rifle. The exploration is clearly mindless and limited, and the combat has absolutely no charm for anyone. What is this game offering that is different or new? Game comes out in 3 months and I can't answer that question. And guess what? Neither can you. I don't mean to hate, but this is going to be a flop of a game, okay? But as always, only time can tell. Guys, I hope you did enjoy this video about Starfield. If you did, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Tell me what you think the game's outlook is going to be when it releases. Without further ado, guys, I'm Trelo. As always, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.